Welcome to Bedtime Stories. The Stallion Sprint. Once upon a time 2 colts were born. When they turned a year old, their owner sold them. One of the horses was sold to a prince who lived in a nearby palace, and the other was sold to a peasant who worked the prince's fields. The 2 horses were sad to part, for they dearly loved each other, as dearly as if they were brothers. Still, now and then they stole time together to catch up. The prince often led his palace horses out to pasture in the fields, to wander and graze, and whenever the peasant's horse saw his brother, he trotted over to visit. When they did meet, they talked for hours. They reminisced about their early days, the smell of the barn where they were born, their mother's gaze of their childhood memories. Then they talked about their present-day lives. The prince's horse told stories of the palace stable where he ate the freshest hay and drank the cleanest, coldest water, and was brushed until his skin coat shone, and where the prince would often give him treats of grams and jaggery to his heart's content. The peasant's horse talked of his hard work, toiling fields under the hot summer sun. For many days these conversations continued, but after a while, the prince's horse began to feel superior, and to brag about his status. "Haven't you noticed how handsome my skin coat is?" he asked his brother, the peasant horse. "I'm sleek and shiny, don't you think? I'm far more handsome than you." "So you are," said the peasant's horse, looking down at his ragged hooves. He noticed that his brother's hooves were always beautifully shod. "I'm very smart, don't you think?" asked the prince's horse. "I must be smarter than you, or I wouldn't live in such a fine home. What do you think?" The peasant's horse could only nod, for he had to admit his brother's home was far more comfortable than his, and his tales of the sweets and treats he ate each night left the peasant's horse longing for these. "I'm faster, too," said the prince's horse. At this the peasant's horse looked up, surprised. "Oh, do you think so? And why would you think that is so?" "Look at me," the prince's horse said. "I'm sleek, and slim, I'm fit, and shod, and moreover I'm smart. Of course I could beat you in a race, my dear brother. Why don't we race, then, and see who is the fastest of us?" The peasant's horse said. "If you wish so," the prince's horse said. "We'll race around the prince's ring." The 2 of them trotted to the ring, standing hoof to hoof at the starting line. "Go, go," cried the prince's horse, and with that he set off at a gallop, while the peasant's horse began to trot slowly around the ring. The prince's horse quickly rounded the ring, passing his brother with ease. "That's one," he cried out to his brother. "Do you want to give up?" "Of course not," said the peasant's horse, and on he trotted. Again the prince's horse easily lapped his brother, and once more as he passed, he said, "That's 2 for me, but you've gone only halfway round. Do you give up now?" "Never," said the peasant's horse, and he trotted on while his brother raced ahead. Again the prince's horse passed his brother, and a 4th time he did. Each time he asked the peasant's horse if he wished to quit. Each time the peasant's horse said, "No number and never." A 5th time the prince's horse passed his brother, and then a 6th time, but on the 7th lap, the prince's horse began to gasp for air, and by the 8th lap he was sweating and achy. "Are you sure you want to continue?" the prince's horse panted as he passed his brother on the 9th lap. "I'm fine," said the peasant's horse, for he had moved at such a steady trot. He was just beginning to warm up, and he knew he could trot on for hours. He was used to hard labor which he did at the peasant's field. His brother was now completed exhausted. At last, on the 10th lap, the prince's horse's legs gave out. Suddenly he stopped dead in his tracks, unable to move. He limped to the edge of the ring, and there he collapsed in the grass, his flanks heaving as he gasped for air. "Are you quitting?" asked the peasant's horse as he trotted past. "I'm only resting," answered the prince's horse, and he watched his plodding brother trot round and round and round the ring. He watched as he trotted 20 laps, then 30, then 40, and finally, on the 41st, the peasant's horse stopped beside his brother. "Perhaps that is enough for today," he said to the prince's horse. "So what do you think now?" "I completely understand," the prince's horse said, and he felt ashamed, and never again did he judge his brother or anyone else, simply on the measure of their superficial appearances. If you like the story, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you for listening. Good night.